it's John Rowe on the opening break as part of Team John Lewis, and as always, these two are pretty excellent in all departments. John Rowe does have a smashing break though, and that is it in full flight. He actually, I think, for John standards, took a little bit off that, and he and Lewis get things going this evening. Just to run you through the rules and regulations, if you are watching us for the first time, this is the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. We're playing English 8-ball pool with international 8-ball rules. It's very simple. You pick your colour set, you pot your balls, you pot the 8-ball, you win the frame. 4 of those wins you a match. There's also a match clock. 20 minutes is on it. It's ticking down already. We've had the first 30 seconds. If it gets to 0, we'll take the result as it stands right there, which means a draw is in play. We've got 4 pairs here tonight. They'll all play each other. Top of the group at the end of the night goes through. Any teams level on points at the top of the group will separate them with a 6-red shootout to determine who qualifies for the last 16 stage. We're in group number 10 of the competition. Well into the second half of it now, and for John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, they will be itching to get into that second stage. They've been there before, a little bit of experience, they've played together a lot, very fierce friends. Great chance for them to strut their stuff once again. As you heard from John there, it was his birthday at the weekend, but there's no presents in frame number 1 for him.
No, I did expect them to run that one out there, Lewis and John. But here comes Josh Juhasz, the Jackal.
Yeah, really nice player, Josh, and I think it'll be interesting to see how he goes with Andy, who is such a clever, wily player. And I often think with Josh, got loads of talent, but sometimes can find himself a little caught out and a little lost, and I think maybe just that little almost angel on the shoulder, so to speak, of Andy Appleton, that steady hand at the tiller can only help him.
That's right. I mean, going back many years, and Andy Appleton was actually the England captain. Super player for, well, I first met him in, I would say, about 1989, around there when I first played. I'll show my age now a little bit, but and he's always been at the top of the game, and an absolute gentleman as well, I have to say.
He's got a shot to play here, mind. I think does he have an angle? I think he's got a fraction of one.
A tiny bit, but he's a fierce competitor, Andy Appleton. He won't be looking at those 2 big pros over there and thinking, is there any chance we can win? He'll be thinking we can win. Yeah, and they'll have told Josh that as well.
Yeah, he'll be bang up for this tonight. No mistake about it. He did just about sneak enough angle, but his issue is while they're on this red, linking it now to the 8-ball is a little bit tricky, and that's the conversation Josh is having with Andy. Can he hold this? Yeah, he's done well.
Very good shot.
Potted it as thick as he dared there, Josh Juhasz, and here comes Andy Appleton to knock in the first 8-ball of the night. And it's the team from Yorkshire who lead the way. You can see there they've brought a decent amount alongside them in terms of travelling support. Yeah, he did. He had a match against Ryan Pisani on this very table that was a bit of a humdinger, really. Got over the line very well. I'll tell you what, he didn't break like that on Saturday. I wish he had. But big congratulations whilst we're talking about the European Open to Scott Gillespie, Goobsy becoming the most recent Ultimate Pool champion. So a lovely break from Lewis and a good chance for him here. He can really justify either suit, just depends on how he sees it really. Yellows are slightly easier just because of the red on the right side cushion as we look at it from the main camera. So it will be yellows.
Such a silky cueist is Lewis Roberts. You can just tell that he played quite a lot of snooker. Just all textbook, his stance, his cue action, everything's completely well balanced.
Yeah, he's a former pro snooker player. He was a really good level, and he's you can see there the nickname on the back of the shirt, the cue maker. He is Stamford Cues, makes Some of the best cues in the world for some of the best players in the world. A very in-demand man is Lewis Roberts for his talents off the table as much as his talents on it as well.
I always wondered when he had time to practice.
Yeah, I think that's one thing he struggles with actually, is finding the time to balance everything. But this has been a lovely visit to the table.
Yeah, the big partnership is now starting to kick into gear.
Yeah, lovely finish that from Lewis Roberts, and there is Team Roberts in the crowd. But a big moment for sure.
The John Rowe break.
Oh, golden break
again.
is it?
Oof.
Oh, it was close.
Yeah, he was hoping that was sailing into that red ball and it would have helped it in.
Should just mention for posterity, sorry Tony, to clarify for those at home, the potential foul of Lewis Roberts with the cue ball in hand, the time foul, and whether the cue ball was moving. That was all checked by our referee Oris Tesgel in that brief pause in play. And he decided nothing was wrong with that. A chance for them to win the match here.
Well, this is what John Rowe wanted, was a two-frame lead, is what he said to start with, and you can dictate the play from there because the time is now on Roberts and Rowe's side firmly.
Yeah, and you can see there, no intention of the clearance from John. He's looking to make things really awkward on yellows. He succeeded in doing that. Talk a lot about this rule set and how aggressive and attacking it is, but you can play, let's call it tactically rather than defensively. But you've always got to be either advancing your colours or making your opponents worse. That's exactly what Josh has managed to do there in response to John doing just that. Potential loss of turn coming in here for John Rowe, I would imagine. 15-second shot clock now in play as well. Now we're into the last 5 minutes. Yellows have more problems. It's certainly a tough one to go at here for Josh, and he knows he has to.
Well, he has to win the frame very quickly as well.
Yeah, clock pressure coming in. Yellow by the 8 ball is arguably the bigger problem. I'm not sure how you solve it. Cool. What a shot that is. He's been unlucky.
No reward for that at all by the looks of it.
Keeps him at the table, but that's where the good news ends. He's looking at a kick shot. Kick shot double, I think he was attempting to play.
He did, yes.
It's not the worst leave. It's not the worst leave. Yellows are not too bad from here. It's just whether John can make him a little bit worse or even take on a clearance himself. I suspect he won't be doing the latter. Keeping things nice and tight. I think he's blocked the potting angle of that yellow as well, which is clever.
Yeah, he's just keeping the jackal at arm's length now.
Always wise in my experience. Oh, that was a really tough pot Josh took on there. John's squeezing the life out of this match.
Well, it's a professional performance from John Rowe. His partner Lewis will be quite happy for him to do it, sat over there.
And again, they're pushing that shot clock as close as they dare.
Josh knows he has to open the balls up.
Yeah, and that's the risk he had to take. Now he knows he can go if he comes back to the table, but now they're all open. John simply must clear. He's got a minute to do it. He doesn't necessarily need to clear the table, just needs to keep Josh off the table. It's Josh's break next, so a potential chance of a golden break if he can find a miracle clearance, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity to do that. Yeah, John's got two pretty routine reds here, and this should ice the game for them. He's taking out this finish actually really nicely, John. He won't get to taking all of them out, but the hard work is done here. No way for Josh and Andy to get the win.
I think he has to punch this off the rail. Don't think he can get on the red, rolling down.
He doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't.
10 seconds left. This match is over. John doesn't need to play another shot. He has done what he had to do. And Team John Lewis are off to a winning start in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. Excellent stuff from John and Lewis, who get the job done, and they are on the road once again. Josh Juhasz and Andy Appleton will be back in round 2 of fixtures, and they know now that there can be no more mistakes. But a winning start for John Rowe and Lewis Roberts. It's fist bumps all round. I do love watching Chris play. Oh, it's a great break. That 8 ball was close too. And the reason why I love watching Chris play is he's so aggressive. He will go at pretty much everything. And when he plays well, goodness me does he play well, but the nature of his game does mean that sometimes he can just fall away a little bit easily as well. It can be a bit streaky, but yeah, he's primed for these sorts of nights, I'd say.
Dave O'Shaughnessy, like I said, he played on the Sealy's tour. I mean, there's not many safety shots in his game either, so should see a few fireworks on the table in this encounter. Well, he's gone for the length of the table double, and when you say aggressive,
That's what I mean.
that was aggressive.
Yeah, not a second thought about playing any other kind of shot there. And here we see Andy Barker and Patrick McLaughlin. A good chance for them to get their hand on the table. Surely they haven't been so unlucky to not be on this yellow. I think they are. Yeah, they're okay. Yellows are a bit of a pain. First shot's slightly awkward.
When I got here early this evening, these two guys were having a good old practice, so their arms should be loose. But then that's when you're just knocking about when you're rolling and you come out into the
Different
arena.
environment, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, very different
Ramped up
environment.
about 25 times.
Yeah, only natural to have a few nerves as well. Both of these players do have this main arena experience inside them, but not loads and loads. And it is always interesting to see how these types of players, for example, who don't get that continued exposure to this environment, do fare. And it can be a bit of a sink or swim scenario.
Well, in the previous match we saw the underdogs take the opening frame, but then they paid the price against Roberts and Rowe after that in the next 2 singles games and the following doubles. You see the missed yellow and O'Shaughnessy and Hampson back at the table. Hampson just directing Dave, guided him towards the red that was straight to that corner. And now it's Chris Hampson. Don't think he'd be too much with this red. Just drop this in and leave Dave the red into the centre, which he has done. And this is a very, very good chance here for Hampson O'Shaughnessy to get the first frame on the board.
Yeah, an excellent opportunity.
Very nice shot there from Hampson. Just wants to just slightly below the cube, below the centre of the cue ball here, just to leave a nice simple red. Black's over the bag, and this is going to be 1-0 to Hampson and O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, no mistake from Chris Hampson. Nice little finish in the end after they were let in by Andy Barker's miss. And that is the perfect start, at least in terms of the scoreboard. But it's a little statement of intent as well, I think, from Chris Hampson, Dave O'Shaughnessy there. Should he get to the table, of course.
Well, it's a must-win frame for McLaughlin. Well, McLaughlin's took the yellows, but mostly they're all free. It's that one that's in the middle of the table. It's guarded by 2 reds. That's the biggest problem on the table for Patrick McLaughlin. This is no easy shot either, queuing over the 8. And he's missed that one. So Dave O'Shaughnessy at the table. I wonder if he'll be looking to play a lot of turn shop as we look at Chris Hampson there as he looks on, his teammate. Well, he's played the combo, very good shot there.
Yeah, really nice from Dave there.
Straight into attack mode.
Yeah, he always is, isn't he? That's a really clever shot. This is the next crucial one. Oh, and it was tough. It was the only downside to going there. It wasn't an easy finish. Even by playing good shots, he still had to follow it up with more of them. He'll be disappointed, I'm sure.
This is a great opportunity now for McLaughlin. Needs his frame. I would suggest he sort of up the pace a little bit. Well, he's going to have to now because it's now gone down to 15 seconds a shot. McLaughlin will be one of the players not used to having this sort of a lot of time given to him when he's on the cue. Tricky last yellow. Slightly hampered as he cues over this red. He's got to bring the cue ball down the table to try and get onto the black ball into the centre pocket. There you see, I think he felt a little rushed. Another look. See, he's just bridging over that red ball, and you can see in the background there that obviously the buzzer was going, and you can see the 3-2-1 coming down rapidly. I think that just distracted him. I know Shaughnessy won't mind playing quite quickly.
No, he won't.
Also safe in the knowledge that they're already 2-0 up. But he'll want to make sure of this frame. That's a nice shot down the rail from O'Shaughnessy. The thing with this, though, he can just dribble this into the middle, but it's going to be hard to get the cue ball long way up that table. He's done well to get that far. He's made the red, but what's the yellow going to do? Is it going to block the black? Ooh.
It's all happening for him, isn't it?
Yeah, he has a clear path. So this for 3-0.
Oh, that's an 8-ball. Brilliant shot from Dave O'Shaughnessy. They're good fun to watch, these two, aren't they? As I said, they might be. They'll go for everything, and they're both exceptional players.
Well, unfortunately there for McLaughlin, that's going to be ball in hand now for Chris Hampson. I think that's pretty much now, we can safely say that's sealed their fate.
Yeah, death knell in this match is rung. Barker and McLaughlin, again, similar to Juhasz and Andy Appleton, it's not over for them. That was in time from Chris Hampson. Yeah, it's not over for them, but they do need to pick it up sooner rather than later. And they'll be straight back on as well to try and make amends. They'll be up against Andy Appleton, Josh Juhasz as well. Win of the bottom line. I think if I were them two, I'd already be almost mentally checking into that game. Because this one is done. Whether or not Hampson and O'Shaughnessy get out here, this match is over. So for Andy Barker and Patrick McLaughlin, they'll stay comfortable in their seats. It's all on the next game. Can they get a win? Can they keep themselves alive in the group?
Well, these two guys are going to get the fourth frame, O'Shaughnessy and Hampson.
Yeah, and I think for those two, they can be really pleased with how they've played. Very, very solid. A couple of mistakes here and there, but generally speaking, Chris and Dave will be really happy with how that first match has gone. A 4-0 victory is never to be sniffed at in the Pairs Cup, and they've made a successful start to group number 10. Andy Barker and Patrick McLaughlin have not gone too far. It's also a must-win match for them. They were defeated just a moment ago by Chris Hampson and Dave O'Shaughnessy. So here we go. Match is set. Stephen Jameson and Tony Holgate with you this evening. And Andy Appleton has no luck on that break. And Andy Barker and Patrick McLaughlin are the two with first opportunity and still looking for their first frame of the evening.
Indeed. So, expectations now must be at the highest. They have to do the business now. Got took to task in their first match. So no easy games here. Barker, they're going for the double, not getting it. Now Josh Juhasz comes to the table. His partner Andy Appleton. Andy there pointing out where he thinks he should go. There's a little thing of this seniority. Now Josh is a professional in the ultimate pool. Andy obviously is a senior player, and it's interesting to see Andy sort of guiding Josh more than Josh guided Andy, which is...
Yeah, and I mentioned this in their first match. I'm not surprised to see that. You know, we talked about Andy a lot. He's a former England captain. He's been around the game for decades. So much experience. And, you know, Josh is much newer to the game and loads of talent. But it's a nice shot from Patrick McLaughlin. That's really nice. Opened just about everything up on yellow. Still a couple of shots to be played though. But as a relatively new professional, he was only on the Pro Series this year, having won a Challenger event last season. You know, there's an element of him very much still learning the game, and I think Josh would be first to admit that. He's far from the finished product, at least he'll hope so. He still will hope there's plenty more to come from him. But there's loads of talent there, loads of ability, and just having a guiding hand with all the experience that Andy Appleton's got, well, can't hurt. I think he'd be grateful for it, honestly. And we've seen Andy work really well in that sort of team dynamic before. He and Michael Tomlinson reached finals night in the very first ever Pairs Cup a few years ago.
Very clever player, Andy Appleton. I suppose it's kind of like, you know, when you got some of the tennis players that, you know, let's go to say, you know, when Andy Murray was at his best, Ivan Lendl was his coach in the background sort of thing. You know, you got a legend of the game there just as a guiding hand and a sort of mentor. But Andy still plays very, very well. And like I say, very clever player over many years, Andy Appleton.
Andy Barker's put his partner in a bit of trouble here. It settles on the double, but he's come, well, about a foot too far, really. Yeah, he's a right smile from Andy. I think one of his mates probably giving some stick in the crowd there. Put Patrick bang under it, and he can't avoid the foul. So that first frame remains elusive.
it where your partner had upset you the day before, you deliberately leave him snookered.
It's a little bit like Andy Barker was playing killer there, wasn't it?
It was a bit. Josh now wants to put Andy in prime position with his shot. Oh, we've had a change of who's in charge.
But that's the thing, and we will have a little bit of that as well, because, as I say, it's not exactly a complete A and B side. Josh is a great player by himself, so he will he'll be more than happy to sort of contribute and take the lead on certain things.
The other thing is
a true partnership in that sense.
The other thing is you get players they'll play a different way around the balls, even though both ways are the correct way, but it's a preference of shot. And I think Josh has come and said, look, I can play that ball, but I'd rather you put me at that angle because I feel better on that shot rather than the other angle. So Andy's sort of duly obliged, and here we are, and they're going to win the frame.
Yeah, ultimately I think both of them saw this red being the last ball to the 8 ball. It was the obvious connector, and these aren't getting missed. 1-0 then to the Yorkshire pairing.
Nice break there. Nice control of the cue ball as well from Josh.
We have seen some excellent breaks tonight, you know. We've not necessarily seen many gimme splits, which has been a bit of a surprise considering how good the general quality of breaking has been.
Well, it's the red that's on the left-hand rail now that Josh will want to attack. He's got perfect angle on this red. I think he might play to try and kick into the yellow just above it and land on the red. So where's the plan? I think playing the ball down the rail, and I think he'll have to go long up into the top right-hand corner, get rid of the 2 reds at the top, and back down for the 2 reds that are just to the right of the black.
That well.
Well, this one's a funny shot because he doesn't want to play this with power and sort of stop the white deck because it's going to leave the cut-through thing. And there you see where he's put his cue. That's where he wants the cue ball. So to get that position, it needs to be slow rolled or sort of a firm drag shot. And he's played that very well because they're tricky when you roll in for that distance. Especially against the nap of the cloth as well. Okay, it's a very thin nap on this TV table, but it's still, they can turn a little bit.
Yeah, a little shot from Josh, and he can just use the pace of the table here, just to track the line. Oh, that's well played, that's perfect.
Brilliant
shot.
Absolutely brilliant. This is a good innings this from Josh Juhasz. Got to feel a bit for Barker and McLaughlin. McLaughlin being unlucky in his break going in off, and Josh pulling out an absolute pearler of a break and looking like he's going to finish from it as well.
Yeah, these are the sorts of finishes where if you can start to get this sort of quality of finish on repeat, you'll very quickly climb rankings. High level stuff this from Josh Juhasz.
Yeah, just going to screw the cue ball back now and try and play the black into the same pocket.
He's got almost that. Has he come too far? No, he's okay. He's perfect. In fact, he's almost got that. It's slightly American, isn't it? The sort of the bouncy, flowy sort of action, if you know what I mean. I see it a lot in American pool. Don't often necessarily see it a lot in English pool because you see all the time the sort of more traditional snooker style cue actions, if you like. That loopy sort of cue action that Josh possesses isn't too commonly cited, but really effective for him. And that was a lovely, lovely finish. Really, really good that. Really, really very good. Andy Barker then breaks off in frame 4. Oh, it could be bad news for them.
Yep, no friends from the break there for Andy Barker.
every chance here that they're staring down the barrel of back-to-back 4-zip defeats. I don't think they've necessarily deserved that.
No,
that feels very harsh.
This match has been on the brakes. You know, McLaughlin's had a really good break going in off it. Josh Juhasz then comes to the table, breaks and goes out. And then Barker unluckily, he's come up and he's broken. It's a little bit of a soft break, to be fair. He didn't hit him as hard.
Not bad split, though.
No, it's a great split, but no balls.
I wonder if they were targeting those two reds together there. I'm not too sure. Seem to be playing that quite firm.
Yeah, possibly. First and foremost, it's make sure of the pot, and then secondly, you want to. I think he wanted to nudge them, but
yeah, because there's no real benefit to being here necessarily. He's going to look down the table. Ooh. All right then. It's a long, long way back here for Barker and McLaughlin, but it has to start somewhere. 5 minutes left. You'll hear the noise for the 15-second shot clock. Excuse me, shot clock coming in just now. There it is.
Yeah, so you get a sense of deja vu here for Barker and McLaughlin. This is where they were in their last match.
God, that's a good shot. Again, have to keep digging. Slightly awkward cue ball for Andy. Right now then, can we control ourselves and get ourselves out, Andy and Paddy? Get yourself a first frame on the board. Even if it's not to be the win, they'll be itching just to get that. It's close to time foul, but he's okay. Cue ball is loose though. It has been a little bit like these two have played killer against each other here at times in this night. Yeah, I don't blame him for puffing his cheeks out. Have you got to go bottom right here with the yellow you're closest to? It doesn't really promote anything, so I think you've got to take this one on. This is really tough. Yeah, no dice. You haven't even achieved second prize there, which I'm sure was in the back of Andy's mind, where he just wanted to hold the yellow somewhere over the pocket. Just make those two reds a big problem.
Well, they've nudged into them and they've put one in front of the other, but I still think if you get on the bottom red, I think you can still dispatch both of those reds into that corner back. So it's going to be the two Yorkshiremen here, I think, will probably finish off this match from here.
Well, you'd fully expect so.
Tells you that these reds go as Josh sticks Andy on the bottom red. Josh will want to play the red down at the rail into the corner and leave Andy an angle on that last red to come up for the black.
Yeah, that's why second prize there for Andy. If blocking that pocket was so big, it would have made this counter clearance so much more difficult. It's a nice little angle left by Josh there.
Yeah, Andy just pots it. He's plays with a bit of right hand side, uses the side cushion to take the white up to the top right hand side of the table. Perfect.
Just like that. Well, a really good performance from Team Dog here, who are going to stay alive. And this group may well become wide open here, because Appleton and Juhasz put in a really, really good performance. Win it 4-0. Barker and McLaughlin with plenty of work still to do if they're to get themselves just to one frame tonight. Well, our two winners from the first round of fixtures are coming up next. Andy Appleton and Josh Juhasz are here to stay though, and they are back in the night in Group 10. They're taking on Chris Hampson and Dave O'Shaughnessy. Both of these two pairs won their opening match, which makes this game extra crucial. Whoever wins it needs just a point in their final match of the evening to advance through to the last 16. And if Lewis Roberts is going to keep breaking like this, you will fancy he and John Rowe to have a significant say in qualification tonight.
balls in play.
Rowe just want to go just maybe another ball's width across, but still not going to pose too much of a problem for Lewis.
Yeah, he just, as soon as these came out, it looked quite nice, and you know, a big part of this game is, you know, solving the puzzle, solving the riddle, seeing how you go. But there wasn't much to do on this finish. It was such a good break. Wide open split, nicely picked pattern, but not a huge amount to do. This just requires a little bit of due care and attention though.
As Trish looks on from the sidelines.
Yeah, I can confirm, by the way, that she was giving Lewis an absolute earful after match number 1.
Really?
After he nearly ruined it with that shot. That's come out okay. A little bit of run there for Lewis Roberts and John Rowe. There's a good group who've come up to support Team John Lewis, as they often do. John's got a couple of mates up with him as well. Cool, there it is.
Is he going to get a ball? No, he's not. Dave O'Shaughnessy is going to get first go. Cue ball bouncing in the air.
Red balls in play.
Well, has he come far enough? Might have to play a thin cut now into the middle. In an ideal world, he'd want to come a bit further, so he didn't have to sort of. He's playing the plant, is he? Ooh. Oh, what a shot!
Oh, that's so well played.
Yeah, and that had to be made. That wasn't a straight one either.
Good a shot is that from Dave O'Shaughnessy.
But this is what Dave O'Shaughnessy can do. He'll fall out of position and produce spectacular recovery shots. And look at this. I'll tell you what. This puts him 2-1 up. Incredible finish. Excellent.
Yeah, how good was that? Absolutely superb for Dave O'Shaughnessy. That is as good a finish as I've seen tonight from Dave. Absolutely brilliant. 2-1. They lead. Needs his break to fire. It didn't when he last came. Cool, that's a boomstick. What's the split like? Pretty good. That was an absolute rocket of a break this from John Rowe. That's a thud into it. Yeah, as clean as you like.
Loads of topspin on the cue ball there. Stopped it sort of dead in the table.
Oh, he's a little unlucky with that first shot. I love the way that he's played it. The cue ball has run into the ball that he was hitting. So red to the ball. Little bit of work to do for John Rowe here. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Been watching Dave O'Shaughnessy.
Reds are tricky here. It's by far from a gimme finish. 15-second shot clock will come after this shot, will it? No, it will come right now.
Tremendous pot there, John. They're hard, those along the rail, and the pace he played it. He's been a little bit unlucky there because he's pushed that yellow ball that's in a way that he's taking on the tough red now.
I think you have to.
Yeah. Where's he landed though? And has he got it? No, he hasn't.
I think he's played it with a degree of comfort, knowing he wouldn't leave much. But if Chris Hampson makes this plant up the rail that I'm almost certain he's going to take on, he's got every chance.
I think Chris Hampson there, mindful of the clock, using that extension just to eat a little bit of time.
He's not taking. Oh, he can cut this in. Yeah, of course he can. No idea how I didn't see that, honestly, but yeah, of course he can. It's a much easier shot.
Yeah, but he's back at that plant now.
Yeah, it's good news, bad news. Made the shot, but he's made his next shot harder. And he's not got extension here. This is time foul. That's a time foul all day. Yeah, Orich doesn't need to double check that one. He's confident in that one. It's cue ball in hand then for John Rowe. He's a little bit upset with what he's been left.
Well, that's because not that red in at the top.
Yeah. This now's a real shot to make. Make it, he does. It's a good bit of cueing that from John Rowe.
Yeah. So important as well, this frame. So
Oh, that could be a massive moment.
Yeah, so it's going to be up to Lewis Roberts now to try and level it.
So 3-2, 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. That's the first properly big mistake from Chris Hampson tonight.
Oh my word. Well, would you believe it? He's tried to pot the red in the corner, he's missed it by a mile. It's shot off the two jaws and gone into the middle bag. Complete fluke. He's put his hand in the air there. Poor old Lewis Roberts was already out of his chair and had to go back and sit down again. But now he is out of his chair. But wow. Let's have a look at this. Look at that. Unbelievable.
God, that's a good shot from Lewis.
I think he was hoping that the yellow would slide off that red there, you know, and open up the pocket for the other yellow. This is tricky. That's the best he could hope for. It's pretty good. Lewis Roberts now is going to be taking the yellow into the left-hand centre. Got to get the cue ball down. He wants to bounce it off that rail. Just to the right and then sort of come through the gap in the middle of the table. This is far from easy.
Oh, that's another great pot.
And just look at the position he's played there. That was a shot of the highest quality there from Lewis Roberts. He's immediately under the whip again, and then goes that yellow. And we're going to be seeing this go 3 each with under a minute left. Probably about 48 seconds should he get, maybe even a little bit less than that.
I tell you what, Lewis has played well tonight. Been pretty flawless. In goes the 8 ball. 3-all, 44 seconds remaining. It looks like he's been asked to commit a crime here, John. He thought about the cut break, he can't do it. He can't bring himself to do it. Front ball we go then. Watch the 8 ball, it could be key. It's a smashing break. What a chance they've got now then. 40 seconds and ticking to clear these balls. Oh, reds look okay. Gone yellows. That yellow right towards the right side will be interesting. They can go in towards it now, can they? That's a great shot. Hello. It's still a problem ball. It doesn't go to a pocket, I don't think.
No.
Can he try and cut it? He can. Bit of a moan and a groan from Lewis Roberts. He looked to play it off the red in the end. He fouls, but they've not given Hampson and O'Shaughnessy enough time to counter clear. It was a good attempt from John and Lewis, but it's not to be. And our big match ends up in a draw, and this group is wide, wide open. Brilliant match that one. Both teams fantastic. And our final two matches are on the way with everything to play for in the Pairs Cup. And it is really in the balance as we head into our final two matches. This is a big one though. Andy Appleton, Josh Juhasz against Chris Hampson and Dave O'Shaughnessy. A must-win game for both. John Rowe and Lewis Roberts will play Andy Barker and Paddy McLaughlin in the final game of the night. And what they will require is a bit dependent on this match right here. But for Andy and Josh, it's really simple. They must win. And that will take them above Hampson and O'Shaughnessy, who currently have 3 points after a win and a draw. Appleton and Juhasz, after a win and a loss, have 2. So they have to win. No excuses. That's the only way they can qualify. If they win, they then need a result going their way. They need John Rowe and Lewis Roberts to drop points. Depending on if they draw or lose, it would be a 6-red shootout or straight qualification.
It's fair to say there's a few permutations in there.
Yeah, for Chris Hampson and Dave O'Shaughnessy, it's a must-win for them really. They just need to better John and Lewis's result, or indeed equal it for a 6-red shootout. That, I'm amazed that's gone down.
I thought I was going to hang, must admit.
Yeah, it probably should have done.
Well, Hampson, you fancy knocking this in? It's all about position onto the black ball. Okay. He didn't knock it in. Well,
Thumped it onto that far jaw, didn't he?
Yeah. He'd come too far as well if he had potted it. Still plenty of work here for Andy Appleton and Josh Juhasz. Going to play safe, try and get the cue ball behind the black.
Yeah, don't mind that.
No, well, it's forced O'Shaughnessy to go up into these yellows and where the problem red is, so they'll be quite happy for O'Shaughnessy to hit these yellows and move the red out for them.
And if not, well,
that'll do. Ball in hand.
yeah, it'll do. A little unlucky to going off, you have to say, for Dave O'Shaughnessy there. Cue ball in hand then for Josh and Andy. You can see there Andy Barker and Paddy McLaughlin watching on. They are a big say in the destination of the winner of this Group 10 of the Pairs Cup. Can't qualify themselves any longer.
Shot there by Andy. There'll be a side on the cue ball just to bring the cue ball nicely out for his teammate Josh. And a great pot there from Josh Juhasz. So Andy Appleton now wants to play this red down the rail, get the cue ball off the rail a bit.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Intriguing game, this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, nicely done by the two Yorkshiremen.
1-0 then. Much more like it on the break from Chris. Excellent break. Good chance here.
Well, immediately looking at the table, you fancy yellows. Just a I'm not going to say dodge yellow, but I think you'll have to do something with it which is stuck to the black ball. But there is a yellow fairly nearby that you could use to pop it out, or you might even have a go here.
Oh, that was a bit wild. Oh, that's such a bad result. Because not only has he missed, but he's opened up the only area on the table that was a problem for either suit. I mean, you can take your pick here. Yellows or reds are absolutely good to go.
That was a bizarre shot.
Yeah, that was rash.
Juhasz has looked pretty solid all evening.
Yeah, you're up against it if you're expecting Josh to not get out from here. Have to fancy him from this position.
Doesn't want to be straight here, just wants any sort of angle, and doesn't want to be having to queue over that red ball either, to be fair.
Yeah, a bit of a pain. He has got a fraction of angle though, so topspin will may well take him into his middle yellow.
I'd rather be queuing over the red with an angle than being straight.
Yeah,
and being able to get me hand free on the table, to be fair.
yeah, they just glance off that yellow, but that's okay. That's nicely
fine.
Controlled.
Yeah, play the one on the cushion now. Play with a nice bit of, just nip it with right hand side.
I like that he's left the yellow down the table as well. It means the 8-ball is just waiting for him, really.
I don't think he's going to be able to get awfully close to it. I think he's running a risk if he tries to scream this off the side rail. He'd probably just run off the top and try and come down a bit.
Yeah, doesn't try to get too cute.
Well, he has a bit of angle, but he can't just roll this in because obviously the red's in the way. So he's going to have to. Well, I'd suggest play this with a lot of topspin and bang the yellow into the bottom left-hand corner, get the cue ball into the side rail and bottom rail and back up. So could see him hit this at a fair pace.
Yeah, just like that. How well's he played it?
Excellent shot there from Juhasz Juhasz. Really, really good cueing.
Super finish from Josh. Jackal has looked sharp tonight. Just was a little short on his final shot there. Oh, he has broken well tonight by and large.
Made a ball, made a red ball, and reds look lovely.
Oh, reds look brilliant.
Yeah, and he's got a nice handy one next to him on the top cushion as well. It'll be Andy Appleton coming to play it.
Yeah, he was keeping his eye on the cue ball there, Josh. He did a pretty good job, I thought, initially of parking it towards the centre of the table. We just saw it drift a little bit, but brilliant break there. And well, these reds are sitting ducks, really.
Well, at the start of this match, you wouldn't be calling this score, would you?
Absolutely not.
Because Hampson, no Shaughnessy, have been playing brilliantly.
Well, there. First 8 frames of the night, they won 7 and lost just 1 of them. Since then, they look like they're about to lose 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Just come a fraction far here.
He has, yeah. You wanted to leave a little angle, so you just run the cue ball down sort of just past that yellow that's on the rail, but I don't know if he can get there. He might still be able to get there.
He forced it, yeah. It's a good shot there.
And he's just checking. He's going to play this with a bit of topspin. He's just checking. He doesn't want to roll in between the black and that yellow there, just to the side. Just make sure he kisses the yellow full ball, and that's perfect. And this is going to be a 4-0. You
Yeah, not the first one tonight either. Super performances from Josh Juhasz and Andy Appleton, who came into this match knowing they had to win it, and they are going to do just that and win it in some style as well with a 4-0 victory. Chris Hampson and Dave O'Shaughnessy are eliminated, and now it's just a question of whether Josh Juhasz and Andy Appleton will be seen again tonight. It's a big, big test then for John Rowe and Lewis Roberts. Win and they're through, but anything else and Team Dog are lying in wait. This is Andy Barker breaking off in our final match of the evening. He and Paddy McLaughlin looking to get their first win, and indeed their first frame of the night. And if they manage to do that, they may well upset the apple cart some, because in the other corner, John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, and if they achieve what they need to achieve, they will be going through this evening. They need to win to guarantee going through. A draw wouldn't eliminate them though. That would take them on to equal points with Josh Juhasz and Andy Appleton. So we'd have a 6-red shootout. And if they are beaten, they are out. So if Andy Barker and Paddy McLaughlin can do some damage here, it would put Andy Appleton and Josh Juhasz straight through, no further questions. A draw for a 6-red, but that won't be part of the conversation for John Rowe and Lewis Roberts. Win the match, qualify through. Not seen a huge amount of Paddy McLaughlin tonight. He's not really had his breaks go for him. He's been shut out of matches. Not seen too much more of Andy Barker for that same reason. That's a really well judged double.
Well, they're finding their form at the right time, or the wrong time, if you ask Lewis Roberts and John Rowe.
Yeah, they're a little bit awkward here though.
Yeah, they are.
Because they can pot the yellow on the bottom rail, but getting back is really difficult.
Well, digging down on his cue ball as well. Elevated cue. This makes this shot 10 times harder. It's proved to be so. And now it's the dynamic duo that come to the table of Lewis Roberts and John Rowe. Discussion there between the two. Now they're happy. Rowe just going to pot this red at the bottom and come around the back of these two yellows, I would imagine. I think he wanted to bump into it, but okay. An odd shot there from John Rowe.
Yeah, he's not been...
He's not been firing all cylinders, has he?
Yeah, he's not been at his peak tonight, John. Just been a little bit off it. But Lewis has played really well tonight. And if they are to get through, fear not, dear viewer. I know these two well, and I'll be putting them bang under the microscope with that particular line of questioning.
Just sailed a few inches too far there, Lewis. I mean, lovely positive pot, but now it's just going to be a little bit tricky to get on this last red.
Can he hold on the 8 ball? Is that the plan? He tried it.
It was the plan. And well, he can make the pot, but look where the black is.
Well, it's all of a sudden a little bit tricky.
The thing when you're playing this shot is you've got to get the cue out of the way, because when the cue ball comes off that rail, it can come back and hit your tip. So it's a bit jabby.
Oh, how well played is that?
Brilliantly, and also he's left him on the double as well back, because he had to screw back a little bit as well. Really good shot there from Lewis Roberts.
This is as makeable double as you could really get. Oh, he double kissed it.
Did. He hit that very, very thick in the middle. Well.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I think I was right in what I said. That was a pretty presentable double.
It was
really
yes.
expect that to be made.
It was makeable. If it wasn't makeable, John Rowe would have played a safety and left the cue ball right at the top of the table.
Whereas it is, he's played a pretty good safety.
That's not a good safety.
No, I think that's fair to say.
Unless you're allowed to leave the cue ball in the slot at the back of the table, have to get it out with a sand iron. But that's a big mistake there from Barker to present this to Lewis Roberts, and he'll be mighty relieved. So will John Rowe.
Paddy Mack on the break. Crunch.
Oh. I think he's a bit unlucky with his break to put those balls down on the bottom rail the way that they're situated.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It was a fair old thump from McLaughlin. He's not even landed in a decent spot. He's been breaking very well, and he's not been rewarded all night.
That's a great pot, Mike.
Very good pot.
But yeah, he's already back in trouble. That was the issue.
Sort of little shake of the head, you know. He's nodding the head there as in recognition that he doesn't feel that he's having much run either.
The winner of this group, whether it be Lewis Roberts and John Rowe or the pairing of Andy Appleton and Josh Juhasz, will go into a group in the last 16 containing Sean Chibberfield and Carl Sutton, who have made it through every single group stage they've ever played together. Got to finals night on every single Pairs Cup run so far, those two. They were in action last week. Next week, Group 11, Team Blester in action. Dom Cooney and Luke Gilbert.
Ooh.
They've got Hitten Patel and Steve Singh in their group, which is a cracking little pairing.
Yeah.
Elsewhere there, we've got two Fletchers, Liam and Scott versus two Gillespies in Colin and Jimmy. They're also in group number 11. So
Jimmy Gillespie plays on the seniors tour with me. Very good player. Really good attacking player, Jimmy Gillespie. In case you've not seen him. Lots of turn coming here. Only just made it, but
only just, yeah. I thought
Lewis Roberts will be happy enough with that.
Well, now Paddy knows it. You can tell by the way that he approached the table. He knows he's bang under it here.
Yeah, he almost came to the table and said, "Thanks, Lewis." It's a good shot. Nothing else he could really do, but...
Do you know what? It's the worst possible sort of frame, this, for Andy Appleton and Josh Juhasz. This is slow death, isn't it? Because the odds of Paddy McLaughlin winning this frame are really, really, really long. But also, the odds of him lengthening the frame are quite short. He can keep it going for quite a while and be a nuisance.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the odds of him actually ending up winning it are really small. Especially as Lewis is going to play another loss of turn here. But made it mind. That's a slightly loose one from Lewis Roberts, so he's not left too much.
Well, there is an elaborate shot there, but I don't think he'll play it, which would be get the cue ball right up in here, hit that yellow, scream the cue ball back and knock the other yellow in and hope they'll land on the last one.
Well, he tried to do it, but the other way around.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was a good effort there. A little unlucky. There's another loss of turn coming here from Lewis Roberts. He'll make it this time, don't you worry.
Yeah, there was no value in not attempting to do something, because you know exactly what you're going to end up snooking here with Roberts playing this one. Yeah, it's a good shot.
It just goes to show the value in the point that the more balls you have on the table in a tactical exchange, they are like currency.
Yeah.
Not quite a time foul. It's a brilliant hit. Fair play. He should now lose the frame.
Yep, keeping them honest. The way Lewis Roberts has been potting, you're not going to expect him to miss these.
Although that's a rare loose one. You
Yeah.
want it to be on the one bottom left, but he's still got options. He's okay.
Yeah, we're going to the centre now with the red in the middle of the table. Top and left hand side, do you think, or is he going to screw back?
Yeah, I always like that option. He's beautifully on it.
Yeah,
Really
super
nicely played.
control and lots of power.
Well, he's only a fairly slight man, is Lewis Roberts, so he's not sort of gifted with those big long levers that automatically generate loads of power, but his cue action is so pristine and his timing is so good.
Timing's excellent.
So he just generates it just so naturally. Beautiful cueist. He has broken really well tonight, Lewis.
Look at that split. My word.
This is as good as I've seen Lewis play on an arena table consistently for a decent spell of time. I don't think he's made one mistake all night, really. He's looked absolutely flawless. Best player on the night by a million miles.
Just about to say that completely stand out from the rest of the crowd tonight. He's been brilliant. Player of the night, certainly. Just a little bit concerned about that yellow now that they've just nudged into that gap between red and black.
Just in time again. Oh, what a shot he's played here.
Oh wow. I mean, that had to be on. That's on a sixpence. That's incredible. That position shot.
Absolutely brilliant. Been the best partnership tonight, but yeah, Lewis has been by far and away the best player. He's been absolutely brilliant.
Well, they were made to fight with O'Shaughnessy and Hampson, but this has been brilliant from these two, especially, like we say again. Can't say it enough. Lewis Roberts has been fantastic.
And as for Barker and McLaughlin, they get the ignominy really of going frameless in the night. 3-4-0 defeats for them two. Difficult night for them, but what a brilliant night for the ringer and the cue maker, John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, with a fantastic performance. They remain unbeaten and they qualify for the last 16.